Yeah. Esto es breve, ya tus pasos se acercan. Tú me debes una noche con maldad. Yo soy preso de esos besos y tu piel. Yo sé que eso se repite otra vez. Baby, te quiero para mí, tomando y viendo Netflix. Ya no se trata de sentir, se trata solo de fluir. Baby, te quiero para mí, tomando y viendo Netflix. Ya no se trata de sentir, se trata solo de fluir. Más por DM me escribiste antes de llegar al hotel. Me conoces, no soy de eso. Yo te hago completico el proceso y empiezo a tocarte. Yo soy tu vicio, espero que no te asombre. También puedo besarte, ser loco y romántico a la vez. Baby, te quiero para mí, tomando y viendo Netflix. Ya no se trata de sentir, se trata solo de fluir. Baby, te quiero para mí, tomando y viendo Netflix. Ya no se trata de sentir, se trata solo de fluir. Mi Pikachu, pues yo te elijo, siempre apunto a lo fijo. Por eso estoy contigo y porque la pasamos genial. Es un castigo, es solo que conmigo encontraste tu abrigo y por ahí encontraste algo más. Tú lo sabes. No nos desviemos del caso, solo tú y yo, mujer. Tú eres perfecta, tú eres mi caro y yo puedo ser tu nena. Sé que tú quieres más de eso. Flaca, tírame ese hueso que él no te dio, lo que te di. Y no solo hablo del sexo, lo que yo te di. Baby, te quiero para mí, tomando y viendo Netflix. Ya no se trata de sentir, se trata solo de fluir. Baby, te quiero para mí, tomando y viendo Netflix. Ya no se trata de sentir, se trata solo de fluir.
Aquel día el instinto nos decía que esa noche juntico no quería, que las ganas, bebé, nos ganaría, pero no fue así. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos a jugar. Ella sabe que quiero a mi mamacita. Ella también quiere que seamos felices. Ella, la que se apresura a la vueltica. Ella es intimidez. Como la ves, no le importa dónde y cuándo. Pero nada no es, yo no soy el que la mando. Nunca lo seré, su carácter no es de niña, que la puede controlar cualquiera. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente. Vamos lento y verás. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente. Vamos lento y verás. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo Mi consejo sabes que no es. Te doy el desquite, que me quites todas esas ganas que te tengo, mujer. Todo el mundo sabe que tú y yo somos más que panas, pero nos vamos lento, que el que se apura no llega a nada, no llega a nada, nada. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, bebé, vamos lento y verás. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente, bebé, vamos lento y verás. Vamos lento, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela.
I know that I just met you, but you look, oh girl, you blow my mind. I know what I would like to do, but you just keep on talking. I see your dog needs walking. Your folk drive you insane. I know, yeah, that's true. Of course, you ain't the one to blame. Keep on talking to me. You keep on telling me your dreams. You keep on talking to me. But I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. Sure, I like to listen. It's not like I don't wanna know. It's just that you've been talking to me 3 nights in a row. I think it's time to let go. Forget the past, just lose control. 'Cause life's too short for yapping. Come on and dance, come give me soul. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking. You keep on talking to me. You keep on telling me your dreams. You keep on talking, but I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you.
I saw you from the beginning. You were clearly out of my league. You didn't look at where I was standing. I thought that we would never meet. But here we are now, two restless souls, lost in a room full of strangers. I wanna wash that sad look from your face, and maybe you can keep me away from dangers. Let's sneak out together, baby. This evening will soon be over, and we'll be back in the roles we play. Always caught in the charades of life, longing for a sweeter day. But this can be our moment. Let's seize it here and now. Let's leave this room full of strangers. Oh, you'll wash this sad look from my face, and I'll keep you away from dangers. Let's sneak out together, baby. Oh, and spend some time just you and me. I wanna set you free when no one else is there to see. Everybody knows you're a lady. Yeah. But your eyes keep telling me that there is more to see. Let's make our own destiny. Let's sneak out together, baby. Yeah. It's all I wanna do. Oh, hey, hey. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Oh, I'm never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Hey, never gonna let you go. Never gonna let you go. Oh.
What's going on? What's going on? We're back.
Yes. I cannot say what's wrong or right. No. It's not hard to fool me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah. Lead the way. I follow.
Get them up.
No need to say. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge
In the chat
of it
room.
all. To the edge
Hey,
of it all.
city, gender. Let's get it. Come on.
'Cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. Ooh. So tell me good night. 'Cause I'll buy no matter what. Ooh. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. It's not a problem.
Clap.
'Cause I
It's
know
not a
what
problem.
I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. Nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize.
Hey, some folks in that beefy.
I follow.
Don't get mad.
To say.
Get ahead.
Where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell you good night. 'Cause I'll buy no matter
Tell your
what.
good life.
Yeah. Susceptible
Tell your good life.
before the
Going on,
moment
Mike?
flies. Before it flies.
Now y'all see the reason I play the song Good Lies. Cause look at all the good lies that are being told. Lie after lie after lie after lie, but I'm fine no matter what. So set it on fire. Bye bye. Bye bye. Yeah, we're back. Oh yeah, we are back. We are back. We are back. People often ask, what's the name of that song? What's the name of that song? The song is called Good Lies. Good Lies. And I love the chorus that says, tell your good lies because I'm fine no matter what. And now the other shoe has dropped. Many of you finally see why I play that song. Why I play that song. Is it becoming evident now? It's because when you are improving yourself, when you come to an image consultant and he takes you from this to that, when you decide to become the best version of yourself, the people that you leave behind, the people that you are showing up, feel some kind of way because you're moving on down. You ain't got to say nothing. You ain't got to try to big up nobody. You're just doing your thing. And what you'll find is people will tell good lies about you. But you got to remember, tell your good lies. 'Cause I'm fine no matter what. See, that's what you have to remember. That's what you have to remember. Let them tell their good lies, Ike. 'Cause you are fine no matter what. Jared, let them tell their good lies. 'Cause you're fine no matter what. Because when you're on the road to self-improvement, personal development, the one thing that will never change is TIME. 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 Time tells all. That's why I say hashtag show your work. That's why a part of this high value thing is visibility, because how you deal with good lies, bad lies, anything is keep on going. You're fine no matter what, and your work will show itself. So before we get into it, shout out to Ike. You back, Ike? Here we go.
I am the king and will not be. I am the king and will not be.
Black Nitro says somebody is going to misquote that. And the thing is, you got to keep on moving, because a misquotation is just another lie. Because, see, that's the thing. Anybody who's going to quote you or say that you said something, if they don't give the entire quote it out of context, or do anything to try to put you in a bad light, they are doing it to lie. And that's fine. People who lie on you are going to happen. But see, you don't address all the lies or anything else. Like, you just keep on doing what you're doing, and the work will speak for itself. Ask yourself a question. If you want to be high value, you're going to be visible, and you're going to make enemies of people you don't even know. People that you interact with. I watched Iron Man 3 last night. And in Iron Man 3, the villain in Iron Man 3 was supposed to be the Mandarin, but it was really Aldrich Killian. Aldrich Killian hated Tony Stark. Why? Because he idolized Tony Stark. He admired Tony Stark. He knew that Tony Stark was the man. And in a one-off chance meeting interaction with Tony Stark at a 1999 New Year's party for Y2K, Aldrich Killian got a chance to speak to the man he idolized. And Tony was being Tony. Tony's been known to be arrogant, narcissistic, crass, whatever. And he told Aldrich, hey man, I really think you're onto something here. Meet me on the roof in 5 minutes. Now, we've seen Tony Stark in 3 movies, 2 previous movies, do this with women, men, and the majority of the people in the world just said, that's just Tony Stark being Tony Stark. But Aldrich Killian, shout out to Antoine Wade, appreciate it. Yeah, guys, if you want to show some love, if you want to actually show your support, put $1 in the super chat. Make them hate. Make them mad, because it's the money that makes them mad. See, the view count makes them mad, but the money is what really gets some of these guys upset. So make them mad. Shout out to Tommy Sotomayor. That whole make them mad, brilliant. Aldrich Killian, standing on the roof where Tony Stark told him to meet him, and it was a diss. But it ain't like he slapped Aldrich Killian. He didn't take his woman. He didn't beat him down. He just didn't meet him. But that man used that one interaction with his idol, a guy that was above him, to fuel his negative anger to become who he was. But the thing is, do you think that guy enjoyed any of that? And when he finally got a chance to meet the Tony Stark Iron Man character, all he could talk about was, remember how you insulted me, how you dissed me. He was like, man, wasn't nothing personal. We don't even know one another. But in his mind, he built it up to be something more than it was. And see, that's what we're going to kind of talk about, tonight and going forward, because, hey, man, when you are on the version, becoming the best version of yourself, when you're on that path, man, you better get used to it. You better get used to it from all sides. You never know. Tony Stark said that day I created a demon. Now, we got to ask ourselves, does what he do really hurt anything? No, but that guy was unbalanced. He took it and applied all kind of meaning. And finally, this thing about high value, this, that, there are a lot of guys who are showing their true colors. If you watch my content, you will know a couple of things. One, these guys don't watch. Two, what if they did watch, they've taken a small snippet of something and they've blown it up to, and I'm like, hold up, fam. We got to get back on track and ask ourselves one thing, because the funny thing is, I got to admit, man, black women, are they wrong about what they say about black men? Obsidian has said it a couple of times, several times. He's like, man, black women ain't all wrong about what they say about some black men. And there'll be people that would say, well, no, man, that's overstatement, overgeneralization. And here's the thing. If you're not okay with generalizations are about, we're broadcasting. And broadcasting means we're having a broad subject and we make generalizations that are broadly true. If you got problems with generalizations, if it always has to get down to the special snowflake for you, then you might want to go ahead and exit stage left, because you're never going to get that. And all that is another philosophical BS debate tactic. Here's what it comes down to. Are black women wrong with what they say about some black men? See, that's been the real sticking point. And that's what this whole high value thing is kind of brought into the forefront. Been a real sticking point. And I got to ask some of the men, are they wrong? Are they wrong? When I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, over the last 30 years or so, I've heard black women make complaints or comments about black men in several regards. But here's where a lot of the complaints come down to black men. Here are some general complaints or general issues that black women will say they have about black men. The black men lack seriousness. Lack seriousness or maturity. That black men are not competitive. On the world scale, you're not competitive. Here right on YouTube, these arguments have been made for years. The black men aren't serious. You lack seriousness. You're not competitive. Not respectable. Lack maturity or immature. And then overall, that creates a lack of eligible men. And one thing that's constant about everything that I just laid out is it says a lot it says a lot about what an individual man does with time. Everything that I just said lays out and underscores what an individual man does with time. Because we all get the same 24 hours, but it's what a man does with his time that is one of the biggest indicators of what his value is and will be. We've talked about this whole thing about increasing your value. And as you're going to see over the next days and weeks, as we continue to get on into this, how to separate yourself from the pack, how to increase your value, a big component, a big part of it is going to be what you do with time. Well, I got to say, are black women wrong when they can see black men sitting around for days, hours, discussing one man or one person, and it's a lie? I mean, honestly, ask yourself, what are women, or even if you say, well, I don't care what black women think, that's bull crap. It's bull crap. You do care. Or if you didn't, you wouldn't talk about them. But what is anyone supposed to think when they see black men wasting time? Because it comes down to some very simple things about a man: productivity, competitiveness. And you cannot be productive when you're sitting there wasting time. One of the themes over and over and over again when guys are calling up trying to, I want this, I want that, I want to increase my value, and you can't do anything if you're lazy and wasting time. And see, another sticking point is for the guys who don't waste time, for the guys who are competitive, for the guys who are improving, the guys who are on a journey of personal development, especially when it's public. You hold the mirror up to your competitors. And I'm sorry, you are my competitors. Another man is my competitor. Unless we're on the same physical team, you are a competitor. And in a normal, happy, healthy place, what you do is you beat your competitors. But in this space, in a lot of spaces where black men are and black women are talking about black men, what's the major way guys try to dethrone or beat their competitor? They try to illegitimize him, making, oh well he's on top, but that's not legitimate. He's not legitimate. And tomorrow night's guest, we're going to go way deep into this weaponization of making competitive, productive black men illegitimate. Because what are you really doing at the end of the day? Are you creating more eligible black men? Because black women aren't all wrong when they say that there's a lack of eligible men. And it's time we talk about it. Now, there'll be plenty of people who say, well, it's because of this, or it's because of that, it's because of this, because of that. All those things may be true. I don't deal with those. I deal with outcomes and what individual people do. So we're gonna attack this thing for many different reasons. I'm going on all out assaults. Gloves are off. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm talking to a very select audience. I'm talking to the men who want to be competitive. I'm talking to the men who want to be better than they were born. I'm talking to the men who want to be first generation high value. Those are the guys I'm talking to. Whatever age you are, that's who I'm talking to. The guys that say, I want to make a difference. I want to have something more. I want to be better than I was last year. You're my audience. You are my audience. You are who I make the videos for. You are who I talk to. I don't make videos or content. I don't have a business for my detractors, my haters, my critics. You're welcome to be out there, but I'm talking to the guys who want to be those guys. And you deserve everything that comes along with that. If you separate yourself from the group, then you make yourself a leader, then you deserve to lead. You make yourself an employer, then you deserve employees. You make yourself a boss, then you deserve subordinates. That's my audience. And I make no bones about it. And I don't care how you feel about it if you're not. You don't have to watch. Take your time and turn it towards you or somebody else. So go fight that white man. Why don't some of you guys that have such a problem with a black man trying to do something, go take that to the white man that you say is the white supremacy. Go do that. Go on out there. Go put that time and energy into the white man. But you know ain't gonna do that because you don't want that. You don't want those problems because they got something for you. See, YouTube, you can talk a lot of shit, but you know they ain't gonna deal with that. They just gonna lock you up. So over here, it's like, well, we'll just go at the brother. But that ain't going to work either because the cat is out of the bag. The page is turned. We are moved on. The conversation has changed. Now brothers are starting to say, you know what? I am here or I'm here. I'm not good with that. I want to be more. I'm sorry. You can't. It's out of the bag. Out of the bag. And the old school tactics and tricks, we got new shit for that. So for men who want to improve, some things are going to really have to be there, but I'm going to say at the end of the day, you're going to need a mixture of gratitude, empathy, and humility. If you ever want to be able to work with more people than just yourself, if you want to be more than just an antisocial loner, anti-establishment, I don't need nobody, hey, whatever, go over there. Don't bother me. Don't bother me, I won't talk to you. I'm not talking to you anyway, so don't bother me. That's where I'm at with it. I'm not talking to you anyway, so don't bother me. If you don't like what I'm saying, I got one question. How'd you hear about it? If you don't like what I'm saying, how'd you hear about it? How'd you hear about it? That means you're listening. Yeah. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. One of the biggest problems that a lot of sisters have with black men is this subject right here, arrested development. Arrested development. And as an image consultant, life coach, one of the biggest things I struggle with men who are trying to improve themselves is understand their level of arrested development and doing something about it. That's it. So for everybody who was trying to play gotcha with by the way, for everybody who's trying to play gotcha with a video clip, the video is up on the video was 7 months old. It's been public since the day it aired. And I shout out to Obsidian Media Network for doing a masterful job of putting all the pieces together. Of the guys who are sitting around lying on me, yeah, you're straight up trash in my opinion. You mean nothing to me. I don't want to talk to you. There's no, hey man, it's a misunderstanding or difference of opinion. Fuck you. That's from me to you. Fuck you. Because it's not like you had to go out and do some research. All you had to do was play the entire context, but you sat there and lied for hours. TIME. Look at what some grown black men, we're talking 30, 40, 50-year-old black men did with time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different channels. Hours and hours of content to push a lie. Why? Go ask them. But my guest tomorrow night, we're going to talk about the motivations and the mindsets that plague a lot of black men, or far too many black men. Shout out to Vince. Arrested development. Here's some things that characterize arrested development. Oh, and by the way, yeah, I've turned off the likes. Mm-hmm. So you can hit the like button all you want to. It's not gonna do nothing. You're gonna hear this. You're gonna hear it. Arrested Development. It was more than a good band in the 90s that made a song called Tennessee. Arrested Development. Arrested development tends to be a mama's boy. Tends to be, not always, tends to be. But in general, some characteristics of guys who have arrested development is overall acting like a child, teenager, or a person who's much younger than they are. Sisters complain about this often. And sorry, if you're a 40-year-old man and you're often talking about young this, young that, young. If you're 35 talking about young men, young, you're middle age. You're middle age. I have heard men in their middle-aged men talking as if they were still in their teens and 20s. And I've actually made the point. I'm like, look, the average lifespan of a black man is 68 years old. At 34, you're middle-aged for a black man. The average age for a black woman is 76, so 38. You're middle-aged. Acting like a child, acting like a teenager, a person who's much younger. This is arrested development across the board, you know? But if it fits, it fits. Here's another one. Tighten your chin straps. Lives at home with their lives at home with their parent, usually their mother, after age 25. Now let me speak to this. There are legitimate reasons to go back home. Home is supposed to be a place where you can start over, because a man who's going to be on the path to self-improvement, personal development, you're going to fail. You're going to have problems. I have friends and fraternity brothers who had to go, who are engineers who had to go back home. They went back home because of an injury, a brutal, messy divorce. But they were at home. But they didn't go home and get comfortable either. I have fraternity brothers who moved their mother in to their home, but they also had a round-the-clock home health care provider there. So I do make the allowance that home is the place where we should all be able to go back to. An injury, an illness, a financial trouble. But how you go back home? You go back home knowing that it's for a short term. And when you're there, you don't get comfortable. You don't make no demands. You damn sure don't sit around acting like you run nothing. And you don't publicize that you ain't proud of it. And you pay rent. You pay bills. You become as small as possible in that place because you know you shouldn't be there. But if you're going to pay somebody, you might as well pay a relative. If you're going to pay somebody, you might as well pay your father, your mother, instead of paying extended lodge. Makes sense. So let's make sure we separate those two. So when somebody wants to come along and say, living with your mama, knows how you live with your relative. Yeah, you wanted it, you got it. Mama's boys. Like I said, it's all about context. Cannot maintain long-term stable relationships or employment. That's what it is. He is commitment phobic in all areas of life, despite his needy attachment style. To my psychologists, my therapists, my counselors out there, please discuss attachment style. Commitment phobic, but needy attachment style. Has very few, if any, real close friends. This is real world, by the way. This is real world. Physical close friends. And his friends consist mostly of his family or strangers he meets while out playing or partying. You know, online gaming, hell, even YouTube and social media. I've got to go talk to my friends. Y'all ain't friends. And anyway, he is often passive aggressive, meaning he has a tendency to engage in indirect expressions of hostility through acts such as insults, subtle insults, sullen behavior, stubbornness, or a deliberate failure to accomplish required tasks or work. Here's another one. He is a narcissist or exhibits childish selfishness or hostility. Is often mildly inconvenient. Even if something is mildly inconvenient, he'll resist doing it. He's financially irresponsible and spends too much money playing, partying, chasing after women, etc. And he rarely thinks anything is his fault, blames everyone around him for everything that goes wrong in his life. Those are some basic traits of arrested development. The shoe fit wears it. The shoe fit wear it. Arrested development. Now, you can go into any, and what kind of outcomes do people like this get? What kind of outcomes do people like this get? Do they get above average outcomes? Do they get above average returns? Do they get above average anything? No, they get low value stuff. And they make excuses. Shout out to all my Greeks. Excuses are tools of incompetency used to build monuments of nothingness. Those who specialize in them seldom amount to anything. Excuses, 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 excuses. Things that come out of these people's mouths are excuses. Excuses, excuses. And it comes down to a very simple thing. When someone goes to assess your progress, think back to when you were in school. When you were in school and you had a timed exam or you had a timed something else, you had time to do something else. When the teacher or the monitor stopped to see where your progress were you ahead of where you should be or were you behind? And see, this high value thing has stopped time and said, are you ahead of where you should be or behind? And a lot of these guys are behind where they should be, or behind where they want to be, or behind where they thought they would be. They're behind. They're behind and they're running out of time. And instead of just dealing with the fact, nope, now they want to change the definition. No, high value, you could be, the next video is going to be high value to yourself. Remember the guy that called in and said, yeah, the guy can be high value in his own mind. Great. All right. That's not how the world works. So the people I'm talking to are good, understand how the world works. And they understand the fact that when it's time to get serious, it's time to mature. It is time to get competitive. It is time to be productive. It is time to have a level of it's a time to gain a level of respect. It is time to make yourself an eligible man, regardless if you want a wife, girlfriend, whatever. It's time to make yourself eligible because far too many men are ineligible. And the longer you remain ineligible, the more you are wasting time. So you can try to make me illegitimate, make anyone else that's holding a standard as illegitimate, but it won't change the fact of where you're at. Now, if you're happy with where you're at, happy people don't complain. Happy people don't take issue with people saying do more. Happy people say, man, I'm happy living where I'm at. Like one of the brothers that called in, hey man, I make this amount. I got this, I got that. I'm good. I'm good. And I want to shout out to the majority of the people who follow my platform. You're happy with where you're at or you're okay with reality. But what's going on right now is Obsidian talked about this very well, that there is a separation or a division going on because there are far too many guys who are not happy where they're at and not wanting to do the work so they can show the work. And they're around you in these spaces and you can't do much about it. But the thing is, on my platform, you're welcome to be here. I don't say you're not welcome to be here, but the only thing that's not welcome is people who want to sabotage and do that kind of stuff. There are other places. So enjoy. So as we move on, you got to ask yourself, when some of the complaints I've heard from black women on YouTube are that black men are lacking in these areas. I'm asking, are black women, or are they all wrong? I'm asking the men now. And this is when you get the conversations about, generalizations and this and that. But here's the thing. My mindset is if you're behind, if you're lacking, you don't make a big noise about it. Like the guy that moved home. My fraternity brother who moved home, he didn't go post it on his Facebook and Instagram and wear it like a badge of honor. He did what he had to do. Just like the guys who go get shit jobs to get from one lily pad to another. You do what you have to do, but you don't brag about it. You don't get comfortable in it. My personal opinion, I cannot back this up. This is my personal opinion. But far too many of men who are really vocal have given up. Given up. Because there's still time on the clock. Especially if you find yourself online for days, hours. That's time you could be using for something else. Now, I will also say that I hear some other men who are online making valid complaints and arguments, but I also hear something different with those men. I hear them working. Shout out to Judge Dre. Hell, even shout out to Edward Anderson for that fact. I hear these guys making their vocal complaints and arguments, but every time I hear Dre, that motherfucker is working, putting up. This dude is, I swear to God, man. I'm like, wow. Morning working, evening working, night working, 4 o'clock working. I respect that. Edward driving around, doing what he does. Respect that. I respect work. That's why I respect my blue collar brothers. Because even being a white collar brother, I've done some shitty things because I'm not too good. I'm not too pretty. I'm not too upscale. I'm not too high sedity to get my hands dirty. Shit. If you're on my Instagram, you heard about how I helped to fix a car the other day. See, a lot of people, my critics or detractors, they don't know me. Let me say this again. They can't say anything about me if they don't know me. So trying to make me fraud, scam, secretly gay, don't tip your hand too much. But this is some juvenile stuff. And you got to ask yourself, when critics of black men, like, well, you know some of the people, I'm not going to necessarily say their names, but some of the most ardent critics of black men, I got to ask, are they wrong? What is being shown? What's being done? And my thing is this. No, black women aren't all wrong. And it's for black men who feel like they are to show something. So I said yesterday, 2 things that hold your value back: the group of people you're around and you hiding your value. So now it's time for the guys who are increasing their value or already where they need to be. You need to stop being so quiet, because if you don't like what women are saying about you or saying about black men or men, you don't like it, you've got to show something different. You can't just be sitting there selfish saying, well, they ain't talking about me. Yeah, they're talking about you. Every time black women talk about black men, they're talking about you. They're talking about me too. And the reason they're talking this way is because we don't make distinctions. We don't make separations. We all are just one big, nope, we're not all the same. We're not all the same. Just like earlier before the show started, somebody talked about generalizations. Well, generalizations are to be made about a group, but it's for the group, for people in a group to separate themselves. Most black men spend too much time worried about the opinions of others instead of being worried about self. See, the thing is, you do need to worry about the opinion of others. See, that's I agree with what you're saying, but the opinions of other people matter because it impacts your value. See, I didn't watch the show, but I saw a show that was on YouTube today talking about basically the theory in the black community is we need these laws changed. We need different laws. And I was down here at the Atlanta Men's Dinner prior to Corona, and there was hundreds of brothers in the room. And we broke into our group, and we were talking about this subject. And several of the guys in the group in the meeting recognized me from YouTube. So anyways, we're sitting there, everybody's talking. I heard, yeah, we need different laws. We need this. We need politicians. We need that, and da-da-da-da-da. Then it got to me, and I said, no, the issue is economics. I was like, we don't have a black business class. Black men don't own anything. We're workers. And workers are never really listened to. And then I heard, I was like, give me my 30 seconds. I'm like, if a Asian man and a black man get stopped by the same cop on the same street, do they get the same outcome? The state, the law, has equal opportunity to apply a law, and we get different outcomes. So we already got enough laws on the books. Matter of fact, prior to segregation and Jim Crow and this and that, there are plenty of laws on the books. We don't get equal application. And why is that? Because when you get pulled over, do you think the image of black men is good? Look at all the stuff I ran out: seriousness, competitiveness, productivity, maturity. So when you get pulled over, and then how you engage with the officer. See, ultimately is you need the officers, you need the government to respect you more. Not put more laws up there, because there are plenty of laws. If they want to treat you some way, they'll find the law and justification to do it. Breonna Taylor. But if Breonna Taylor wasn't who she was, if it was Brittany Taylor, do you think we'd have the same conversation? We don't like to talk about the economics, the money, the value. And that's what a lot of black people are pissed off about me, because I'm actually talking about value and asking, what is yours? I'm not saying you need to, oh, well, that's white people. No, there's only one standard, excellence. You can't get around it. You cannot get around it. Other people's opinions matter. Don't think so? Go on trial for your life. And if those 12 people sitting across from you don't resonate with you, Mississippi burning, remember, Jake, I hired you because you wanted them. What would it need for you to set me free? Black men, let me say this really loud. You got to knock this bullshit off of saying other people's opinions don't matter. They do. Black men, personally, you need to start understanding the image game. The reason you get unfair treatment is because your image sucks. The image to non-black people, and even the image to your own women. They ain't all wrong. I don't have non-black men arguing with me about cutting their hair and wearing a suit. You don't think white men have long hair and tattoos? You don't think Hispanic men have long hair and tattoos, but they know how to square the fuck up and play the game? Get them up. So I'm sorry, guys. You can't be mad at black women across the board and say, they always talking this, they always talking that. Well, what are you showing them? What are you showing them? Let me tell you something. You type in all caps, you're going to get blocked. The system will block you. Typing in all caps doesn't make you more right. And I got it that way. Don't come into my room screaming. See, you don't even act right. This person came in typing in all caps. Not everyone can have a Freedom, Georgia, and have a house in a good part of town, y'all. Who takes that person? I mean, I'll be honest. You coming into a chat room, typing that in all caps, screaming, and poor sentence structure. Why should anybody take you seriously? Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. To the guy who called me at I had somebody on my show on the last month. Okay, my show. The show that airs from 10 to midnight, roughly. And one thing that happens on my show is sometimes people try to call my business line instead of going through Zoom, doing it the right way, doing it the way the rules are set up. No, I got people that'll call my business line and I don't answer because it's improper. You're going to do it the right way. But I will tell you, I've had somebody that called my show, got on my show. I've spoken to a couple of times. And then they had the nerve to call me at 4 o'clock in the morning. 4 a.m. 4 a.m. Whose business hours are 4 a.m.? And left him and was trying to talk to me. A grown damn man calling me at 4 a.m. He didn't go onto my website and book a session to pay to talk to me. He called my business line at 4 a.m. And the message, yep, 4 a.m. I couldn't believe. I was sitting there. I was like, I don't believe this. 4:46 a.m. Now I understood why he was trying to call, and in his mind it was a good thing. But the fact is, 4 a.m. So here's what it goes, guys. Like it or not, I need black men to hear something. The world does not know you. They don't know me. The world looks at black men through the eyes. The world looks at men through the eyes of their women. That's in general. Now, to a lesser degree or a greater degree, but because black men are not in positions of power and leadership in this country, where do most non-black people interact with black people? At school and work. If you are a white-collar black man, you will know there are far more white-collar black women in office environments than white-collar black men. So how do non-black people get their opinions of black people? Through the media, TV, radio, billboard, movies, online, and then through the people they work with. And if you got black women in the office talking about black men ain't this and they're scrubs and that, and they're talking negatively in an office environment, what do you think These people are going to go out into the world and say, well, damn, I work with Deidre, and if Deidre doesn't speak very highly of black men, they must not be anything because she's a good person. I work with her. She comes to work on time. That's how this works. Oh, man, that ain't fair, man. So you mean to tell me that a sister can go in a place and talk bad about me and I'm supposed to do something about it? No, you're not supposed to. You don't have to do a damn thing. You just don't bitch and complain when you get the outcomes you get. You want somebody else to fix your image problem. Well, black men, you need to fix your own image problem with your own women. And that's another reason guys don't like me. Because I fixed the part of the image problem. I've made an image to where at least black women will come talk. Black women ain't coming to talk to some of you guys. Oh, you ain't saying nothing no different than nobody else. Well, why don't they come talk to you? I mean, I've heard some of the silliest stuff. And at the end of the day, I'm like, you're supposed to be a grown-up. You're supposed to be a grown-up. I mean, I'm not talking about 18-year-old guys. I'm talking about guys who are 30 plus. I'm not even talking 30 plus. I'm talking about 40 plus year old men. I mean, come on, man. 35 to 40 to 45 to 50 to 55 to 60. I'm like, come on, man. So I will say, black women are all wrong about the generalizations they make. The problem, they are wrong because they don't make separations. They don't make distinctions. They talk about black men all the same. And here's the problem. Black men, as long as you don't make a distinction or separation between yourself and other guys, this is what's going to happen. So it's on black men to actually say, no. We ain't all the same. Oh, man, you trying to tell me I need to be better than my brother? This is segregation and this and that, man. Grow the fuck up, man. Grow up. Grow up. No other group of people, no other race of people. What do you think white folks came up with poor white trash? And they people, we think it's awesome. You think everybody's supposed to get wind? Grow up. And it's time for black men who want better to step into the place of improvement, value, and doing the work. You're not going to be given shit by the world. You're not going to be given shit by black women. Black women are going to look at you with the side eye with skepticism, and they're going to say, whatever, you expect me to go out and be fit, feminine, friendly, work out this, that, da-da-da-da, like a city and say, turn back the hands of time and all this, to deal with an immature mama's boy, an immature Arrested Development grown damn man who's content with just do it this. You want me to go out and have to work and pay 50-50 in the house, but then you want me to treat you like a masculine dominant male? Oh, 60-40 is supposed to be enough to get... Well, good luck finding that. I'm going to be over here with the guys who say, you know what? It's fucked up. It's not fair, but I'm going to go over here and become a guy who can set the rules in his own house. I'm going to go that 100% route. Oh, you trying to say, hey, man, need to... See, every time I say something, it's always going to be, instead of saying, well, you know what? It's always, so you trying to say, so you trying to say, so you trying to say. Just fill that in with excuse. So you trying to say equals 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 excuse. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Brother's openly told, he's like, look here, man. I'm an ugly dude. I'm this, I'm that. But you know one thing? O'Shea is the man. Because while everybody else is sitting up in Northern California, he's over in Poland and now Africa making moves. See, that's work, baby. That's work. That's work. Well, this dude is, how many times I heard people, oh, he's flunking out of medical school and this and that. Friday, we're going to take care of all that. Friday, we're going to take care of all that black men need to be perfect shit. Friday is Free Smoke Friday. We're going to take care of all that bullshit. Oh, he was living here and he ain't doing this. Okay, we're going to take care of all that. That's another way to invalidate or make somebody not legitimate. Funk that. No other race of men does that to their men. Well, you're not perfect in walking on water, so you know what it really comes down to? Who is he to tell me what I need to be? Who is he to tell me I need to be better? That's your daddy issues. Who is he? Who's O'Shea? Who's Kevin? Who's Obsidian? Who's this? Who's that? The guys that decide to do something. That's who we are. Who are you? Oh, you're talking about the guys that decide to do something instead of doing something yourself. Let's open up the call lines. Who are you talking about, dude? He's been angry at his viewers lately. Dude, you need to just, the respect, you don't know enough about what's going on to assume to know what you're talking about. I'm not angry at my viewers. See, that's another thing. Guys, when you decide to separate yourself and do something to improve yourself, understand something. That you are going to hear a lot of stuff said about you, and you can't respond to it all. You got to have water off the duck's back. Shout out to Alpha Male Strategies. When he talked about this. See, in the real world, let me go ahead and help you out, man. I said what I'm doing and you're going to question me. So let me help you out. See, in the real world, how you show power, dominance, leadership, things like that, is in the real world, when there's something said, in the real world, you show these kind of things by responding directly to it. Getting the head of the story. But online, especially in YouTube, you show those characteristics by not responding. And that's why I don't beef. And that's one of the biggest problems one of the biggest challenges that black men who want to ascend, lead, are going to have to check their ego. You're going to have to check your ego because people are going to always come at it. You're going to have to check your ego, and you're going to have to understand where you are, respond accordingly. There's a way to respond, but you don't respond in a way that makes you commit professional suicide or you lose the high ground. And this is one of the biggest stumbling blocks that a lot of sisters see with brothers. You attain something and then you self-sabotage your success. One of the biggest issues I hear from women of a certain caliber is I don't find guys on my calendar or my caliber. Whether they should get them or not is irrelevant because as soon as they get there, or guys will get there, I hear they sabotage it because you don't want to play the game the way it is. It's chess. Africans. So, we're about to open up the call line. And understand something. If you call in here tripping, you won't be here long. I know a lot of guys get upset when they feel like they're being lumped in or grouped in. But what are you going to do about it? There is I got to say something else about image. There is an ethnic image. Oh, no? If you say Chinese, you don't think of people who aren't versed in mathematics. There's an ethnic image. An ethnic image of men and women. Whether some people say there's stereotypes, ethnic image, two different things. ethnic image. And here's the thing, black men, my audience, our fathers, our grandfathers, and our forefathers, they didn't have an opportunity to control their image because they were locked out of the media. They did not have the capital or the access to break into the institutional media. Social media, the smartphone, has leveled the playing field. Never before have black men had an opportunity to alter or improve their image. And my audience, the guys I'm talking to, are the men that want to alter or improve their image. That's my audience. I don't want 100% of black men. I don't. I can't, you can't get 100% of anybody. There's riches and niches. I'm an image consultant. By definition, I don't sell my products or services to 100% of everybody because 100% of people don't need what I'm doing. They may want it, but they don't need it to improve outcomes. And the ones who do need it, they don't complain about having to get it. Let's get into it.
El mundo quiere dinero. Money world. Se arregla con dinero. Money world. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo haz lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money world. El mundo quiere dinero. Money world. Se arregla con dinero. Money world. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money world. Yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, yeah. Money world. Se arregla con dinero. Yeah. Money world. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, de corazón. Yeah. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money world. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money world. Se arregla con dinero. Money world. Looney.
All right, here's we go. Here's the thing. Here are the rules. You don't mention any content creators' names. No, you do not call any content creators' names. Nope. No other platforms. That's a no-no. As I open this up, I will say this too, guys. Man, you're going to have to also ask yourself a question. When somebody's saying something about black men, if it ain't you, you're still in the group. See, black women understand this innately. Talk about being on code. A lot of black women understand code that you're talking about one, you're talking about us all. And there's going to come a time where you're going to have to decide what it is. Now, also got to pick your shot. What's going on, man? Let me unmute you.
Hey, what's going on, Kevin?
What's up, man?
Hey, now to your question of the night,
Are
do
black women all
have a
wrong?
point? That is your question of the night, is it not?
Are black women all wrong in what they say about black men?
They are not all wrong, Kevin. And that show you did on Monday night, I'm not gonna lie, brother, I was a bit ashamed at how some of my brothers who are not high value, and I am not a high value man myself, Kevin. I'm not. I don't make six figures. I do have a lot of social contacts and know a lot of people, but I don't meet the criteria as you laid it out. And I'm okay with that. I really am.
Okay.
And there are a lot of men like me who are okay with that.
I agree.
And who actually agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is a lot of these guys are so insecure, Kevin, in their positioning in life that it seems like it's stabbing them in the heart in some way, that maybe they feel they didn't do enough. Maybe they feel that I don't know. Maybe you can help me understand their mentality.
Well,
But Kevin, I feel quite good about where I am in my life. I'm 50 years old. I'm 12 years from retirement. I have a nice job. I have an education. And in 12 years, Kevin, I'm gonna be on a yacht on a yacht in Dominican Republic. I'm all right.
Let me put it. Let me say a couple of things. One, black folk resist any kind of it's common in Black America. We resist structure and things like that. We want it to be very, very. We want to a lot of us. We want to redefine words. You know, not bad meaning bad, but bad meaning good. You know, it's part of the culture. But we have had high value. Has been around a long time. It's been around a long time in the quote unquote different spheres of YouTube. How about the term alpha? Alpha, beta, and then through the entire chain, alpha, beta, delta, gamma, sigma, zeta, all these things. That did not trigger men as much as high value, but it's still a ranking system.
Well, we've always had that. I mean, there's certain neighborhoods and things that you can't go in because it's a gated community. It's a country club. You can't get in because you can't afford to live there.
Well, but see, with that though, we could always be put and said, well, but I'm not supposed to be there because that's for white people. I'm a black man. But see, this value thing has, like I said it the other day, in one sentence, I've had men, probably for the first time in their life, have to question their value and where they rank. And honestly, a lot of guys aren't happy with it because what has never been said is, if you ain't high value, you ain't nothing. That's BS. That's like saying the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, that if you're not in the 20%, you ain't nothing. See, these concepts have been flying around manospheres for the longest, but this one is causing problems for some.
And I've never heard you say that. Or if you ain't high value, you ain't shit. That's not what you're saying.
But it's, you know, one, Pablo, is a lot of guys have just outright tried to lie about my position, because when you ask them what high value is, they just say money. $10,000 a month, and you got to have it for like 5 years. And then I've asked other guys, well, what about the other stuff? Oh, I don't know those positions. I don't know those things. And I'm like, well, bro, you're upset about something that you don't know. And I just described it 20 minutes earlier. See, what this is really doing, Pablo, is it's showing that, well, especially, how about, I won't say a lot, but this sector, it's showing that guys are behind. And that's all right when ain't nobody asking the question, what is that worth? I mean, you heard the show on Friday, the dude the Pookie and Ray Ray living on somebody's couch and got the bad girl. He's high value. And I'm like, is this where a lot of guys are? Right. So, right. I don't know, bro.
I have a friend, and I hope he watches this. If he doesn't, I'm going to share it with him. His name is Gregory Pride.
Okay.
Gregory is, he owns a company an IT company that manages the network for the Atlanta Public Library. Mm-hmm. He and another brother from Morehouse, they own this IT company and they hire and employ people. Mm-hmm. He meets your definition of high value man. Matter of fact, I was going to gift him a session with you to help him get even further to the next level. He makes multiple six figures. He employs people. He's that kind of guy.
Okay.
And
what
so
what were you gonna? And so what was the? What were you?
I was going to say I was going to gift him a session with you.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. See, and I'm gonna go into the next caller. I appreciate it, Pablo. I'm gonna holler at you later, man.
All right, man.
Appreciate it. See, here's the thing. This whole high value thing, I didn't make it up, people. I didn't make it up. High value has been around forever. Like I said, I mentioned alpha male strategies. He's often talked about, I have a high value mindset. The issue is, I think the real issue is, many guys think they're higher value than they are. Because if I say, all right, forget the way I defined it or the parameters, what are your parameters? And one of the things that I noticed in the show is that everyone who was laying out the parameters put themselves in that high value category, no matter where. I'm 29 years old, getting out of school, and I'm going here. Well, that's just potential. You haven't done a thing. And I see you in the comment section. And it's like, well, you can't just call yourself something. Well, he thinks he's high value in his mindset, but that don't make it so. And when I took high value, what I did is I said, all right, what would any group of men in any time frame, in any country, any political system throughout recorded history, what would the high value men or the men who separated themselves from the pack, what are some of their characteristics? And I came up with 6 that had nothing to do with morals or principles or religion. Just things that men at a glance would understand about other men and say he's high value. And I intentionally took morals, principles, religion, and women out of it because all those things are subjective. Let me go ahead and unmute you. You got yourself out of there for some reason. So when guys are like, well, women, no. But, also black men have had this conversation about alpha. And I've never heard of the term sexual alpha really until social media. Shout out to O'Shea, because he said he mentioned it often. Alpha men are by definition leaders. And the group chooses its leader. But many guys want to call themselves alpha. But you're not alpha anywhere in life. Look here, homeboy. If you are a high school graduate and working a 9 to 5, and you're not in charge of something, you're not alpha. Because you have a girlfriend who listens to you and you tell your kids what to do, But if you're not a leader amongst men, that doesn't make you alpha. And guys have a problem with this shit. Well, this is going to be the last week we discussed this because my job as an image consultant, life coach, whatever, I'm about outcomes and improvement. Hey, man, you need to turn off YouTube, okay?
Yeah, I just turned it off right now.
What's going on? What you got for me?
Yeah, I just had a quick question.
Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering. Oh yeah, also I'm Greek. Shout out to Phi Beta Sigma.
What's going on, dude?
I'm good. Yeah, I
Go
just
mob.
hey, you already know. Yeah, so I was just asking, as far as trying to be high value, and going back to school versus working on your network. Do you think going back to school is probably the best route if you're working in corporate America, or
Going back to school is a safe route. Always has been. How old are you?
I'm turning 25 next month.
What would you go back to school for?
I was thinking about getting my master's in computer science. I'm currently a systems engineer.
Okay. Listen to what I'm about to say. Hard skills, while necessary, doesn't make you special.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. How many men do you work with or know who have the degree you're talking about?
Not too many.
All right. But the ones that do, did that automatically make them high value?
Not necessarily, but with corporate America requirements nowadays, they want more than a master's, especially when it comes
I
to talking
understand.
about.
I understand.
Yeah.
But see, shout out to Xanatos Clutch. He actually nailed this. He's like, oftentimes the tech guys want value for academics, and you don't get that for that. You get income. You get resources, but that does not increase your value if you're not useful to more people. I mean, think about it. Is the world run by guys with masters and PhDs and scientists and technical guys?
No.
No. You got guys, 535 people in the House in the Congress, and describing the internet as tubes and pipes. Right?
Yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Okay.
Why would you go that route when you know in the world you see that it's not the most degreed, smartest guys who win?
For me, I just thought it would just be like a good opportunity. Like, I work for a company that does like tuition reimbursement. So I'm like, if they're able to, fund that for me, I was
I
like,
get
why
you,
not?
but that does not change your value overall. It changes your income potential.
Okay.
But you asked a question about high value, and high value is implicitly dealing with people,
Okay.
right?
Of course.
All right. So you can become Einstein-like, but
Yeah,
but that was Tesla was that, right?
exactly. He was.
But he died broke.
Mhm.
So the other side, are you good with people and networking and that kind of stuff? And
Yeah, I wouldn't even be where I am today, honestly, if I didn't have those people skills.
well, I mean, so the world is that's where high value, as far as I've seen it, is lies inside of the ability to influence and work with others. So yeah, man, going to school is just one thing. It's just one thing. It's necessary, but it's just one thing. All right, man, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, all right. Hello.
Hello. Hey, Mr. Samuels. First thing I wanted to say was thank you for the advice you gave me on the personal advice line. And I'm honored to speak to you on this Zoom session because I want to increase my value and I have some ideas that I want to run through you.
Now I need to. Now the question tonight is about specifically about black people.
Oh,
It's about
okay.
black women and black men. Thank
Okay.
you. All right, guys. Here's the thing. This is not my show. Is not a place to come get one-on-one personal advice or a, you know. Come on, we gotta stay on the topic. So, um, ladies, I mean Rose Petals, you asked a question. There's the Zoom line. See, what I think, what I tend to hear is, I want high value to be me. I got degrees. I got this. This is what I got. I want high value to be me. And basically I'm saying that no, high value is that. And if that's what you want high value to be, then you got to become that. It can't just be you. And this is that black people cultural thing of changing the definition of things. Well, the N word is an insult, but we're going to change it to a term of endearment. Bad means something over there. We're going to change it to good. That works inside the group to a certain extent, but outside of the group, what does it work? And value is more than just your family, your neighborhood, your community. And that's something I think is also bothering brothers, that women, that black women see that and they're like, okay, you may be an effective in your neighborhood, but are you effective in the world? Uh-oh. You need to connect your microphone. So when black women are asking black men to be effective, to be taken seriously, to be competitive and productive in the world, what are brothers responding as? Because I've asked, I mean, I didn't just sit on my thumbs. I asked a lot of black women, what are some of the things that you see? This is over years. And what are some guys saying? Well, all right, you need to turn off YouTube in the background. It can't. The answer is it shouldn't be that way, or it's too difficult to do what they're saying. Well, okay. Hello.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, how you doing, Kevin?
I'm good. What do you got for me?
Well, I don't even know where to start. Well, first off, let me say this: I love the show, or what you do. I love your business. Is awesome. I'm fairly new to this world, to the high value world, or just everything in general.
Okay. So what do you have for me on our topic?
What? Okay. What is the topic specifically, so I can answer correctly?
How old are you? So I know this.
I'm 30.
I say, are black women wrong in what they're saying about black men, about their demands or their critiques of black men?
No, I don't think so.
So you didn't call in to discuss the topic. You called in to discuss something else.
No, I'm here to discuss whatever we're here for. I'm here to support and participate however we're
Well,
supposed to.
the way I want people to support and participate is actually have something to bring to the table.
Okay.
It's not a conversation. I need a point of view.
Okay. Well, my thoughts on it from personal experience at the moment is I've been given critiques by women about myself at times. If this is about the topic, like I remember I had a ex-girlfriend who told me I didn't bring her any value. And when she said that, I didn't take it as seriously at first, but then it was once
She
I
to-
kind of, huh?
she told you did not bring her any value.
Yeah. But at that time, but at the time I was kind of like at a low point in my life. I was working to better my life at the moment when I met her.
Okay.
So to me, I'm taking that at like just thinking about it now, or just listen to what you're saying as far as bringing more value into people's lives.
Okay, I
Um,
got to ask you the thing.
yeah,
Was she, was she making more money than you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I was going to school. I mean,
Hold on,
so
hold on, hold on, hold
technically,
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. How old were you when this was going on?
29. It was like last year.
Okay. So you said you had a girlfriend who told you that you didn't bring any value to her
Yeah.
and you didn't know how to respond to that.
No, I mean, I kind of looked over it when she said it, but now it's kind of like it's settled with me.
That's what?
But it's like I remember her saying it, but I've just connected it to okay, maybe it's because of the whole high value thing or
No, no. Okay. All right. So why? All right. Um, a woman's telling you not bringing any value. You need to listen.
Mhm.
I mean, and ask was what she's saying true or accurate? Because here's the thing: she's supposed to bring something to you, but it doesn't sound like you were leading in this relationship. For her to even bring this to you, to question your value,
No, I don't think so.
well, yeah, because if you were leading in a way that was, then why is she questioning your value if you were leading?
I'm I'm fairly new to all of this. I'm just learning. So whatever mistakes I'm making, like
You suppose, okay, were you raised with a father?
no,
All right, so are you supposed to be partners with a woman 50-50?
I want to say yes.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Chicago.
Young man, no, you're not. That's why you don't
Wait,
need a
what does that
girl. You
mean?
don't need a girlfriend because you're not okay. This is what happens. This is generations of fatherless homes. You have a woman that you're supposed to be leading, telling
Hmm.
you you're not bringing her any value, any, you're not improving her position or whatever. And
Hmm.
as a man, you're saying, well, I'm not supposed to bring you any value. I'm just supposed to be here. You and I are equals.
Okay, I'm
No,
a,
no, listen, I got to move on to the next point. Okay.
I'm listening. Oh, I'm
I'm
listening.
moving
I
on to, I
promise you.
got more people. Hold on. And see, this is what a lot of black women are saying. The black women who are making these complaints are talking about men like yourself who, at 30 years old, you don't even have a fundamental understanding of the role of a man and a woman in a relationship.
Okay.
And that's up to you. I don't care if you didn't have a dad, neither did I, but it's your responsibility to know what you're supposed to do because were you guys sexually active?
Yes.
See, that's a problem because I don't care what kind of birth control you're using. If she would have gotten pregnant, the world could possibly have another situation of a black man who does not know what he's supposed to be doing, raising another in another broken family. You need to figure. This is why I say therapy and coaching
Yes,
because
sir.
at 30 years old, you should be at a different phase. And honestly, it almost sounds emotionally like I'm talking to a teenager. But thank you for
Okay.
calling in. I got to get on to the next caller. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Hmm.
See, this is okay. Galen, I need you to unmute yourself. Guys, we got. Anyway, go ahead. What's going on? So are black women wrong in what they have to say about black some? Are black women wrong in what they are saying about black men?
No, the majority of it is true.
Okay.
The things that they're saying is true. I like to try to address it from a different kind of angle.
Okay.
Um, I know a lot of people are not raised in the church, and I know that the
Okay, you're gonna need to move on down the path and put some hot sauce on it. We're running the show and you're putting us
okay,
to sleep.
okay. I was just gonna say that a lot of the things that the NOY has, as far as men's only training, addresses a lot of the things that women are seeing in the men. The NOY has a lot of good things as far as, the way that you present yourselves. Brothers are taught to do that. Brothers are taught that they are the maintainers of women. Brothers are taught um that the woman technically doesn't have to work if they're in a marriage situation. There's not, the 50-50 thing. That's not something that we're taught. And I think that a lot of those things, they're positive, are worthy of looking into. Not saying that everyone would want to become a member, but I've seen a lot of brothers come out of the penitentiary, change their lives, start businesses, basically dignify themselves. So that's
Okay.
the only thing I really had to say. I think that we need more programs like that, even if it's not coming from the NOI. Even the church could start. I don't know. Some churches have men's only programs, but
See,
those kind of programs sort of like a rite of passage for men.
see, I hear what you're saying, but here's the problem I have.
Okay,
It's still somebody else's responsibility. The
right.
Nation of Islam has to take men and make them men. The church needs to take men and make them men. No, if you
Well,
want to
well,
have,
okay,
you hold on. If you want to
okay.
have, if you want to have standing gravitas or whatever, then you need to do the work. If you want to have a woman, and then you need to do the work. If you want to have sex, you need to do the work. See, if you don't want standing gravitas or anything else like that, then I got no problem with it. If you don't want a woman and sex, I got no problem with it. I mean, you ain't bothering nobody. But if you want things, you should have to work for them. And you shouldn't be given anything because you say the NOI, the church, that's another man giving other men something. Now, I do think that it would be great if things existed, but they shouldn't be the primary way that men become men. That's the father and the
Oh,
family.
okay.
It's not
Well, I
that.
would I would say, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, I think that a lot of things that they're taught in the classes, the men's only classes, like etiquette, how
Look, man, it
to
doesn't.
to eat.
That only works if they get taken to the classes. This stuff is stuff to be okay. What do
Well,
other groups of people do? They don't teach it in class. It gets taught at home, and
right,
the
right,
culture reinforces it.
right. But
And the
looking
only
at
way,
go
huh?
ahead. No, I'm
So
sorry.
I
Go
get
ahead.
what you're saying, but it's still putting the responsibility on somebody else. No, you can't
Okay.
get around that. It's still the custodian of the child would have to take them to a class that somebody else has to make. Nope. The custodian of the child should be raising the child in order to where he's going out and creating stuff for other people. Because who's gonna support that? Who's gonna fund that? Where's that money gonna come from? See, there's the problem. It's another man making something for men, for boys, out of whose dollars? The government ain't gonna support it. You don't have a thriving black business community to support it. That's why you go to the church, because that's the only place you know they got money to support that. This is a circular conversation that starts with men.
Right.
All right, fam.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
All right.
I get what he was saying, man, but we can't keep putting it off onto churches and, because, I mean, I don't, you know, who is this dude? Oh, unmute yourself.
Hello?
Yes, what do you have for me?
Yeah, I think ladies right, but I think they right for the wrong reason.
Okay. Go ahead.
So when I say, so when I think that they're right, it's just like if you go to the store right now and go buy you a thumb drive for your computer. Your thumb drive don't come preloaded with anything on it. It's gonna take whatever it is that you download on it. So when you look at that, according to the black culture of women raising men for years single, I'm not saying that men not guilty, but women have to look at and have some type of accountability. Like the other day, I looked at something about a woman was talking about a Tyler Perry play, and she said that she kind of went like 10 years watching Tyler Perry, and at the same time, she was like, "Well, hey, my son is in college now," and I remember him sitting beside me watching Tyler Perry. So imagine how that young man or that boy is going to be
All right.
after
So
watching his mama watch Tyler Perry for like 10 years.
Here's the thing. Here's the issue I have with this argument. At 18 years old, you should be out of your mother's house and going on to the next phase of your life. Even imperfectly, what a parent is supposed to do is make sure their child is raised, socialized, and educated. So I hear what you're saying, and I agree that we need intact families, and part of the problem is that women aren't choosing this and that. But what do you do after age 18?
Well, I get your point of view on it, of what they should do and move out and be on their own. But I still think it goes back to like a lot of women when they look for love, they don't comprehend that sometimes they're looking for love to be an infection in a way, but they don't look at it that sometimes love may need to be direction and correction.
Again, due respect. I'm talking about men, not boys. And the world treats women and men differently. See, even if you weren't raised well, you still have to do something with yourself, because the world does not owe us understanding, and it's just another, even though it's a valid reason, how long do you get to use that? How long should a black man who falls into this situation get to use, I was raised not knowing how to be a man? How long should he get to use that card? Give me a year number. How long should he get to use it?
If he's not gonna go off to college or find a job somewhere, 18, he got to get out.
No, I mean from 18. From 18, he was raised as a child in the juvenile. But at 18, how long before the world should start treating him as he needs to be a competitive, productive, mature, serious man? At what age should he have to be judged like every other man in the world?
I think he got to be judged way before he get 18.
All right. Well, I'm not understanding then, because you don't get that.
No, I'm saying
I get it, but I got other people to get into. So, I mean, I got your point, caller. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So, we still got the point of, boys are not being raised by fathers, and I get that, but at what point do we start holding men accountable for being men? At what age do these? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Hello, Brandon. 3, 2, 1. Hello. 3. You got something to say, Brandon, before I get rid of you? All right. You're gone. CJ. See, the world, when I said it earlier, man, the world don't owe you understanding. And I'm honestly tired of hearing so many men who want respect, want to be treated like men, who don't want to do the work. See, if you don't want to be treated, if you want to be treated as less than, fine. But you can't want something you're not willing to work for and say, well, I'm starting a race with at a disadvantage. Granted. What does that mean? You got to run harder. Well, it ain't fair. Well, sorry. CJ. What do you have for me?
So I really think that the black women are correct per se, and this is mainly because I think when the truth tends to come out, if they're hinting at something that is somewhat truthful about their experiences with a black guy, it's probably somewhat aimed to either raise her personal status, so say, hey, I'm above this like demeaning aspect of a person I know, or it is truthful.
Hold on. I'm trying to make sense of what you're saying, but it's not making any sense. You don't think black women are right because they're talking about black men they dated and not black men globally?
No. Let me rephrase. It's more so the intensity.
Hold on, fam. Hold on. I need you to talk like you're talking to a fourth grader or a cocker spaniel.
Okay, so the core of what they are getting at is truthful, but the intensity or the scale in which they're talking about it is a bit exaggerated. So the guy.
What do you mean when you say it's exaggerated? So we have what you would consider to be a plethora of eligible mature men.
No, I don't think there's a plethora. But I think.
How about a majority?
Personally, I don't think a majority.
Okay.
I think a lot of black men have been kind of weakened in a sense, like they kind of need to grow up, like we need to grow up a bit more. But I think when black women talk about it, it's a bit over exaggerated. So let's say it's like guys act like they're young adults. Like let's say it's a 30-year-old talking about a guy and he acts like he's still 20, but she may over exaggerate and say he acts like he's 18.
She may exaggerate it, but okay. Women exaggerate of all races. But why is it that when black women exaggerate, it's allowed to persist into the consciousness? Why is it? Why is it allowed to exist and become the narrative?
I think a lot of my brothers are kind of weak in that sense. They either don't step up to plate to prove the assumption wrong, or they just double down on it because they want to feel some kind of emotional victory.
Well, then based on your own thing, it's not on the women. Women exaggerate. Hold on. Women exaggerate. Women are emotional. But in order for it to persist, men have to be ineffective and do nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Well, okay.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Then it comes back to men have agency in allowing the narrative to persist.
Oh, yes.
So, and that's what I'm talking about. Ultimately, I get that it may be an unfair narrative, but what are black men going to do to counter the narrative? Because we can't just say they're wrong in our little groups or individually. How about this? Are you familiar with Tommy Lauren?
Somewhat. I'm familiar with the name.
Tommy Lauren came out. She's a white conservative pundit. She came out with an Instagram video 3 to 4 weeks ago, tearing men apart, saying men are trash. Yeah. But did you see her have to make a retraction in less than 48 hours? Did you hear about her having to make a retraction in less than 48 hours?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure she got heat like immediately after that.
From who?
Probably superiors, probably
from
her friends.
She got heat back from men. Positions of superiors are men. See, her friend. See, what you're getting at is a white woman can come out and say men are trash, and then she has to sit back and make a retraction 48 hours later. Black women talk about trash about black men, and they can make money at it. The difference is the response and the power of the response. Women are going to do what they do. So when you say their intensity, I can hear it, but men have to have a more intense response.
I guess the way I was taking it was more so all these black guys are trash, or like they're broke or they're bums.
Okay,
and it's
I'm gonna get on to the next caller.
Oh yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
See, guys, I get it. They're saying this, they're saying that. All right, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about any of the stuff? What are we gonna do about anything that's coming up against you? No consequences for black women. Okay, you can say that. Who imposes the consequences? I'll do this. N Brown. N Brown. Unmute yourself. What do you got? Hi. What do you have for me?
Okay, just listening to the show. I've been listening maybe 2 weeks now. I heard you on the Roommates podcast, and I was intrigued with your show. And listening tonight, you're talking about men who, well, what women are saying about men, and I disagree. I actually love men. I have brothers. I have high respect and regard for them, and my son as well. But the problem in the Black community when it comes to value with men, they base the value on how many women they can sleep with. They don't look at how they can provide and take care of anyone. It's based on how many people they can sleep with.
All right. So the first point you said is you disagree. When I said are black
No,
women
I
wrong?
agree.
Hold on. No, well, I want to back up what you said. The question is, are black women all wrong in what they're saying about black men? And you're saying you agree with, or you disagree with that point?
No, they aren't all wrong. I don't think that all men are trash or anything like that, but they do have valid points because some men carry themselves in such a way that they bring out a negative
So I want to be clear
effect.
that even when there's a criticism or a critique, what I heard you ultimately say is the way a lot of brothers value themselves is through sex.
Right.
I can't argue with that. I mean, I've
Right.
heard it, and that holds no real value in the real world. So,
Right.
All right. You said you have a son.
Yes, I have a son.
Are you married?
I was married. I'm recently divorced. I was married for 23 years.
So this is the world he's gonna grow up in. I mean, so when you hear what black women have to say about black men in general, what does that make you think for the future for your son dealing with a black woman?
Well, for my son, he doesn't. I mean, he deal with people like that in a sense, but I don't have that mentality, and nor do the people that
No,
we
man.
have
No,
in
no,
our
man.
circle
Let
have
me be
that
clear.
mentality.
Let me be careful. You can have whatever
Mhm.
mentality you want to. He's going to go out into the world and pick a woman.
Right.
That's the women
Right.
I'm talking
Right.
about.
Right. Right.
You hear what black women and
He's
men say about black men. What do you? So your son is in that group. He may be your
right.
special snowflake, but then he's a black man. So when he
Hmm.
goes out into the world and hears what black women are saying about black men, what kind of odds or what kind of outcomes, what does that make you think your son's gonna have to deal with when it comes to dealing with
Well,
black
he's
women?
well, he's dealing with a black woman right now. Is actually one of the few black women he's actually dealt with because
Thank
he was
you.
raised in
Stop right there.
a mix. I'm
Stop
sorry.
right there. Stop right there. He's not only dealing with black women,
Right. Right.
so we can't skip past that.
Okay.
See, I figured it was there, but I wanted to
Hmm.
hear it because far more young black men are not are interracially dating.
Right.
I've had women, mother after mother after mother, because I mean, if you're a black man and you hear some of the horrible things that black women have to say about black men in general, you can have young black men saying, "I don't want to deal with that. That ain't me." And
Hmm.
that's what I'm trying
Hmm.
to get you to say, or get you to acknowledge that as a young black man coming out, hearing what black women are saying about black men, do you think it makes them want to primarily date black women?
No, I would say no. I would say no because if you constantly hearing something bad about yourself from a certain group of people, especially when the persons look like you, it's hard to digest. But from what I'm hearing from my son, when he's dated black girls, he was actually very happy with him. He's dating a black girl right
Good.
now, and yeah, right now, and he really cares for her. His goal was to be with a black girl. He chose Caucasian girl and a Hispanic girl prior to, because that's who he was exposed
So
to
the
here
black,
in New
okay,
York.
last question, man. The black woman he's dating, do you think she's in the majority or the minority of black women out there?
Well, she is. I
on,
have my
man.
own issues with her because
I don't. But you said he
her
said he's
scalp is
happy with
arrested
her.
development.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
He said he's happy with her and she's nice. I ain't asking about what mama think about her.
I would say she's a minority because she's an educated young lady. Unfortunately, she's a baby mom and he doesn't have kids, and I'm
Woo!
kind of leery of that.
Thank you.
I'm
This
very
call is
leery of that.
golden. So even a good one in the minority comes with issues.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm gonna move on to and see. Here's the thing: if you're a brother and you're hearing and you don't fall into this category of being the stereotypical black men that women are having to deal with, even and what do they have to pick from? And you're saying your son, who doesn't necessarily fall into that category of all these bad black men per se, what he has to pick from, a woman who's a good one in the minority, even come with a baby.
Yeah.
How do you make a community with this?
And I actually trying to encourage him, and I know this sounds horrible, but I really don't want him to date someone who has a child because he doesn't have children. Okay. My daughters don't have children, and I would prefer that he didn't. I don't want him to start off with a broken family. He's 26.
All right. And how many black women that okay, you want him to date somebody without kids? I agree. Do you think? Well, do you want him to date a black woman?
I actually know a lot of black women who don't have kids.
You want who?
I know a lot of black women who don't have kids.
Okay, but
the majority of women in my family don't have children.
But that's good. But why isn't your son dating them?
I don't know. I don't know, and I try to because he confides in me, and I try to.
Let me ask you some questions. Are these women your son's age or around his age that he could date?
Yes.
All right. Are they overweight?
No, he doesn't. Date
that's all I need to know.
Women.
I mean, I just need to know. No. Are they? So they're fit, healthy weight. So 5'4", 120, 125 pounds. They fit that. Are they attractive?
Yes.
It's not making sense.
Yeah, he's just he's very shy, and I think that has a lot to do with it. He's also very picky, but
hold on, man, hold on. Picky. If you're saying he has young black women who are attractive, fit, and in shape, and he's not picking them, something's not making sense, man. Because I don't know many guys that will pick a woman with children when he has other women who are fit, in shape, and attractive. That doesn't make sense.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out what's the problem, because he is.
Have you asked him?
Have you
asked him?
I've asked him.
And what does he say about the black women? What does he say about the black women you're talking about?
He's saying that a lot of them are too loud.
There you, ma'am. So listen, and you,
yeah.
That's. So what are these? I'll say, okay. So what are those the women that you think your son should be choosing? Why aren't their mothers telling them to stop being so damn loud?
Because some of the mothers are the same way.
Well, I couldn't. Thank you.
I hate it. I hate it. Well, but that's the reality.
And this is where we're at. We want a different outcome, but now we'll pick this one apart. All right, thank you. I don't want to do that much longer. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. I'm not gonna get to everybody, so everybody on. I'm not gonna stay up here all night. Who disagrees with what I have to say, or who think women are completely wrong? If you think women are completely wrong, put it in the chat room. Um, that's who thinks women are completely wrong. Jesus Christ. See, when I talk to women, it's like pulling. Women will call in, but it's like man after man after man wants to call in. What you just heard was something I hear often. When a guy is raised in a middle class environment, what are his choices to pick from? We have to give each other what we want. Women got to give men what they want, and men got to give women what they want, or they're not going to pick one another. It's that simple. And in red pill spaces, we know what hypergamy is. Women consolidate the highest value male possible. Red pill. So you can't be upset with the notion of high value in a red pill space. What the French? And if you're not getting access to the caliber or quantity of women you want, you need to increase your value. I don't see anybody who has a problem with it in the chat room, so let me see. All right, all the guys in the chat room, I asked in the comment section on Zoom, who has a disagreement? Who thinks that the women are wrong about what they're saying? If you think the women are wrong, type it in the comment in the chat section. So that 50-50 thing, 50-50, I don't do 50-50 around here. All right, you believe they're wrong. All right, Christopher, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
I can. Go ahead.
I do think they're incorrect, and I think a lot of times it's because of what they choose and who they come in contact with. Because I had a similar conversation with a couple of my buddies I went to college with.
Before you get into the anecdotal, have you watched the broadcast?
Oh yeah.
All right. So when I said some of the complaints you hear from women are talking about a lack of being mature, serious, competitive, productive. You're saying that black women are incorrect. There are enough men who are serious, mature, competitive, productive, and competitive?
Yeah, it depends on where you look. Because from my personal experience, I could say the same thing about women if I go to a certain area.
We're not talking about women. We're not talking about
okay,
women.
So let's stay on men. So if we're talking about where do we find men, where are you looking for those type of men? Because say, for example, you're going to a library, you're looking for vegetables. You're not going to find vegetables.
I get those examples, but let me ask you before we get into this: whose responsibility is it to find somebody? Is it the women's responsibility to find men, or is it the men's responsibility to find women?
It's the men's responsibility to find women, but it's also the women's responsibility to make themselves available.
If you're a valuable man and you're better than the competition, then why are the men not out competing the Pookies and the Ray Rays and stuff like that if they're truly higher value and more competitive?
Well, we got to ask, who are the women making that complaint? Are they valuable enough for a man to chase after
now
them?
you're moving the goalpost.
No, the goalpost is the same.
You're moving. No, you can't overtalk me, man. You're moving the goalpost. You're saying that it's the women who they pick. I said, okay, granted. Then you said it's where they go to pick the men. And I challenged the notion that they shouldn't be going anywhere to pick. Men should be picking. I believe that.
Correct. I agree.
If you are okay, would you consider yourself to be a better pick than most men?
Personally, I would, and I think a lot of women would agree.
Then are you okay? And then So if you're a better pick than most men, how are women to know you exist?
Well, I have to make myself available to them, but then I only make myself available to those who are high enough caliber for me to be interested. You see what I'm saying?
Thank you for saying that. You make yourself known to a small segment of women. Fine. Do you have that high caliber woman you want?
Yeah, I have a woman right now who is an accountant, has her master's, who is, has a parents that come from owning their own business. Her sisters are doctors.
Good. How long
I
you guys been together?
about 3 years now.
Why haven't you married this woman?
We're already married.
Okay. Well, then you're out of the you're out of the conversation, man.
Wait, come on now.
No. There's no come on, dude. Look, hold on. Seriously. I mean, I appreciate you calling in, but if you're already married, you're not in the open dating market. So
true, but there
right,
was
man.
a time I was.
Okay. Thank you. All right. This is a problem, I've been married, and the conversation is different from married than single people. See, let me go ahead and let you guys understand something. This was part of the problem that I had with the Pookie and Ray Ray argument. Pookie and Ray Ray get all the women. Pookie and Ray Ray get all the women. I ain't never lost shit to a Pookie or a Ray Ray. I kick Pookie and Ray Ray's ass. I would take Pookie and Ray Ray's woman. Pookie or Ray Ray ain't never took shit from me. Because I go where I go, and if I want to go, I go where they go. That's what competitive men do. They don't say, well, the women got to come find me. You go find the women. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Rose petals. I will say this, guys. The women who do make these points, whether they're valid or not, is a small rose. Unmute yourself. I've said it to the women who call on my channel who have not the. Hello, what do you got for me?
How are you?
I'm good. What do you got for me?
So Kevin, I just wanted to say that I'm not really educated on this topic when it comes to the sense of statistics and that kind of knowing the topic in depth. However, I will give my opinion. I do think that when it comes to the Black community, there are individual high value Black men. However, as a community in general, we are not considered to be a high value community. And that is reflective of the value of our men because I feel men are supposed to be the leaders in communities. And so when we judge the value of a community, it is usually based upon the value of the men, not the women.
Okay. How old are you?
I turned 20 recently.
Are your mother and father married?
Yeah.
All right. So if you're saying that the value of a community is judged upon the value
Oh,
of men.
sorry. I don't mean like, of course, there's a lot of things that have to be considered when it comes to value. I mean like
You
in the
just cut me
sense of,
off.
in the financial
You
sense.
just cut me off.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
I heard what you said. I'm just being clear. That a community is judged, the community is judged upon the productiveness, competitiveness, value of its men. I agree. So if that's the case, why do we have the lower value Black men that we have? That's a question for you. She muted herself. You need to unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, Rose.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know how that happened, but basically, I don't know why we have the lower value of Black men. That is basically just an analysis that I've seen. I'm still kind of
Well,
trying to figure out.
Let's ask some questions then. Let's ask some questions. 80% of Black children are born to single parent households. That's true.
Okay.
Okay. Who and which parent gets the children in 80% of the cases? In the majority of the cases. Is it men or is it women?
It is the women.
Okay. So if the mother is the parent who's raising the children who is responsible for making sure that she raises a higher caliber of man.
To be quite frank, Kevin, I know that the answer that, most people would say it is the woman. However, I do feel like men,
Don't give me,
the
don't give
belief
me,
that
no, Rose. See, what we don't do here is we don't talk in feelings. We talk in facts, data, statistics. What you're about to say is, I know what the truth is, but I don't like it, and let me justify it with my feelings. You cannot blame someone who is not there for something that happens.
But wouldn't the question have to be, why is he not there?
That's down the line. We're dealing with the one that's right there. See, if you're in the shop and something happens, it happens on your watch. And if black women want a higher caliber of black men, then black mothers who have the custody of the black kids need to make sure that they're raising a higher value of black man.
Right. Can I ask a question though, Kevin? Do you think that a mother would be able to raise a high value black man in the same way that a father would be able to, even if she tried her best? Can we really
No,
blame her?
no, I don't. So if I know that and you know that, why don't more mothers give their sons to the father?
That's a good question.
Uh-oh. It comes back to the parent in control.
Right.
Uh-oh.
I can understand that. Yeah, I
So
can
that's why I
complete.
said what you feel irrelevant, man. Why did she pick the man you picked? Men control access to relationships, women control access to sex. No child gets born in this country who was not, that a woman had to be forced to give a child up. She could have used birth control, and like it or not, Roe v. Wade does exist. She could have aborted or even given the child up for adoption. You don't have to be a single mother in the United States of America. It is a choice.
Okay, I understand your point, Kevin. Thank you so much for that. However, I also have another point. I do not live in the United States, so I'm not very familiar with the situation in the United States.
Where do you live?
I am of African descent.
Where do you live?
So what I want to ask
Where do you
is, why
live?
is it
Why are you over talking? What the hell? Where do you? Jesus Christ! Where do you live?
in Canada?
Okay, ma'am, it's North America. It's not. It's not like you live in in a non-democratic state, in a non-democratic country.
Okay, I understand that part, but can I ask the question that I want to ask?
Yeah, but you need to make sure that when I start, go ahead, man, ask the question.
Okay, so the question that I have is that we do not have this same level of divorce rate when it comes to countries like Africa. And I am of African descent. My family travels to Africa a couple of times throughout the year. However, Africa is the richest continent in the
What is the
world.
question? What is the question? There's a long.
Why do we have the same low value Black community even in Africa, irregardless of the fact that we do not have such a high level of the divorce rate?
Why do we have such a low value black man in Africa, even though we, ma'am?
Black community.
Okay, that I don't know. In general, I don't know what's going on with the divorce rate in Africa, but it seems like you're trying to link these things to just being a condition of being black.
Well, I personally do believe that,
You believe
part
what?
of it, part of it is really the mindset that we have as a Black community. That's what I
Oh,
think.
okay. So we're so okay. So you want to make a eugenics argument?
No, not in the sense of genetics, but just in the sense of our views when it comes to building wealth as a community and the value that we place on ourselves.
So my question is this: why do you need to go over to Africa to make an argument in North America?
Some people would say that that is not connected. However, I am one of the few people that believe that, as Black people, we are connected. So if we want to study our mindset, we should study our mindset not only in the American sense, but even in the African sense to understand the mindset of
All
Black
right.
people
Okay,
and what's really holding
that's
us.
a good academic puzzle, but I'm about outcomes. I'm not about philosophies and theories. I'm about outcomes. And at 20 years old, due respect, you can sit there and intellectually peruse these things. What I'm concerned about is knowing what to do and do things that are better. One, stop having children before you have a husband. Women have 100% of control over who gets born. 100%. The facts, the figures, the data, statistics is in. When a child is born to a two-parent nuclear household, he has a better possible future. 2, boys should be raised by their fathers. In the case of a broken family, divorce, or whatever, the sons go to live with the father. You just admitted that a woman doing her best still isn't good enough. 3, start putting the resources into the boys over the girls. Stop demanding that everything is equal between the boys and the girls. Thank you for admitting that you can't have a valuable community without valuable boys. So when we have a boy and a girl, we need to stop demanding that girls get equal outcome from boys. We need to stop this whole Title IX thing in this country that says, all right, well, the girls need to get equal textbooks and equal resources to boys. Bullshit. Boys need far more than girls because boys have far more of a need to have a higher level of outcome. So thank you for a woman for putting that in.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Well, I agree, and that's where and part of the problem is Black women have a major part to play in creating the very men that they dislike. So thank you. I got to move on. The show's getting late, and it's getting late in the show. But thank you for calling in. I wanted to make sure I got you in. All right, guys. I don't have a lot. We're already past the show time, guys. We're 25 minutes past, so I'm going to have to just end it there. I can't just keep going on forever. So here's what it comes down to. Thank you to the callers. Sorry to the people who got cut off, but I'm not going to just stay on the Zoom forever. Look, here it comes down to. I said it, and Black women aren't necessarily all wrong with things they have to say. The problem is, the only way to stop them from saying anything is to do something. You want to stop the narrative? Hashtag show your work. Hashtag increase your value. Those are the 2 things that we know work. Nothing shuts a woman up like work. They may say, I don't like the kind of work he does. I think he's this. I think he's that. But what they don't question is whether or not the work is done. And it needs to be public. It needs to be visual. We are a people who likes it to be public. You got to show the work. Shout out, Ike.
I am the king and will not be. I am the king and will not be.
Look, we have to. You want to change the narrative? You don't change it by arguing with them. You don't change it by facts, figures, data, statistics. You do it by changing the work. You have to do it in a public fashion. That's what you're going to have to do. And if you don't like it, well, I'm sorry. Because right now, a lot of Black women can run around doing this thing.
I'm a PhD.
They can run around doing that whole thing, telling you I'm a PhD, I'm a this, I'm a that, and they can start pulling their value around theirs. And like it or not, you're going to have to be able to beat your women. And sadly, too many Black women today think they're beating men.
I'm in danger. I'm in danger.
Somebody made this, remix this, I'm in danger. Far too many Black women think they're beating Black men. And you want to change that narrative? You want to change that perception? You're going to have to change it in public. That means, you're going to have to show that you can work with other men. That's right. You're going to have to show that you can work with other men. You're going to have to show that you can work with other men in public. There are content creators right here on YouTube who have very different points of views who are women. Very different. 180 degrees opposite. But even they can put the beef to the side, the bullshit to the side to get on code. Like it or not, black men, you're going to have to get on code and get in line. I'm going to say it and you're going to have to like it. If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. You don't beat the man by slandering the man, besmirching the man, trying to make the man illegitimate. You beat him on the field. If you want the win to count, see, you want to smear the man, slander the man, do that kind of stuff. And then you think when you get on top, you want somebody to say you're the legitimate king. Wrong. Wrong. Show the work. And you show the work and you increase your value. Going forward, tomorrow we have a special guest, and then Friday we're going to continue back into the increase the value. And part of increasing the value is embracing failure. I want to talk to the failures on Friday. See, we got a big problem in the black community. We, especially black men, who are you to talk? 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 I'm the motherfucker with the microphone. That's who I am. I'm the dude that did the work. I'm the dude that separated myself from the pack. I've earned the right to speak. And if you don't like it, you lead, follow, get out of the way, but it's going on. I want to talk to the failures. I don't want to talk to the guys who were too safe to fail. Because see, the thing is about increasing your value. That's why I said 5 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As a man, you can be at the rock bottom. You can be rock bottom on the street, jacked up in the world. You could be Tyler Perry's story. Anybody living in your car? Anybody would say that Tyler Perry hasn't changed his fortune? See, that's what a lot of things are. You saying this now, but he was that over there. Well, see, the whole thing about it. See, showing the work, you need to show the process. See, too many times we take a guy who has had no value or low value. We don't see the work, and next thing you know, he's over here. No, a big part of being high value is improving your value in process, building it like while you're flying it, because that is what separates you, because that is the magnet, the things that draw other high value mindset men to you, because they see somebody who's down bad over there, but had the power of their mental mindset, the work ethic, and the grit, the balls, the determination to crawl, walk, run, fly. And next thing you knew, while everybody else has been sitting around intellectually masturbating, talking about whose dick is this or who's that or somebody's gay or whatever, they're sitting around as grown goddamn men wasting time. Oh yeah, you want it, you got it. Time wasting is one thing that no one respects. And it's the one thing that men should value more than anything else. Time. It's the equalizer. Time. That's why you get the fox and the hare, the ant and the grasshopper. All these fables. Time. 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 Talent is wasted every day. Ability is wasted every day. You're on top, you get comfortable. You get complacent, you get content, you get old, you get fat, you get sloppy, you lazy. Time. So I tell you right now, to all my critics, all my detractors, anybody who thinks I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, cool. Do what you do. But people watch how you spend your time. People watch how you spend your time. And if you got time to talk about somebody, that productive? If that's what you call productive, then don't get upset when black women say what they say about you. Don't get upset when you get clowned by the very women that everybody else around the world is listening to say, well, damn, if their own women don't respect them, why do we have to respect them? There's a separation going on, and the separation is going for a higher level, higher vibration, higher mindset. See, I don't really care if you like it. What I care is what you're going to do about it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Each individual man, you have to decide what you're going to do. And I also want to add this as an aside. A rising tide lifts all boats. That's why I said yesterday, you need to move in a group, because one success is a shared success. It ain't about one man. It is about a mindset, a group moving forward. What are you doing? Doing it by yourself makes you a solitary target. And that's what it really comes down to for far too many guys. They lack the EQ, the people skills, to be able to be someone that you can work with for a long period of time. The development is arrested and the outcomes show it. They waste a lot of time. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up out of here. I got some company coming through in a minute. Yes, sir. Picky with the baby mama. Yes, sir. All right, thank you, guys. We're going to round out the week strong. Ike back in the house. Guys, I'm looking for more people to mix or remake. I got all these things over here. The I'm in danger. I'm a PhD. There's a lot of stuff over here, man. I wish I had a chance to play it. But hey, to the ladies, I'm always going to ride for my brothers. I'm always going to ride for men. So even though what you say may be on point or factually accurate, you still get to decide who you let pick you. And when Ike comes through, when the guys come through, when the Judge Dre's and the people like that come through, the men who are willing to do the work, the men who are saying what they say, but they're out there working, are they gonna pick you? They gonna pick you? Are you on their level? See, that high value, increasing your value changes the whole thing. Then they have the options. They have the opportunities. And for those of you who don't get picked, you know what I tell you? Bye, dog. Till the next time. Peace. We are gone. Shut up, Alexa. ByKevinSamuels.com or go to ByKevinSamuels.com